Chosen one, what you thought was gone was never truly lost, it was transformed. The universe doesn't erase what's meant for you. It repositions it, reshapes it, refines it, until you are strong enough to hold it again. The things you thought slipped through your fingers, the dreams that faded, the love that disappeared, the purpose that seemed buried beneath time, are still there, waiting, living in another dimension of readiness, preparing to return to you in a higher form. You thought it was over, but endings in your life have always been disguised beginnings. Before we dive deeper into this truth, I want you to stay with me until the very end of this message, because this one carries energy that reawakens what's been sleeping within you. If your spirit feels this calling, I want you to write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments below. Let it be your way of aligning with divine timing, sending your intention into the universe with faith. Feel what you desire as if it's already unfolding. Your wish is not random, it's memory trying to return. This is your signal to reawaken it. You've probably felt it, those strange moments when something inside you whispers about a dream you buried long ago. Maybe it's a feeling, a scent, a song, or even a sudden memory that flickers through your heart like a spark. That's not nostalgia. That's a reminder. The universe never deletes what it designs. It may have paused it, but it's still alive. What you thought was gone was simply moved to a realm where it could grow without the noise, without the interference, without your doubt. There are seasons when God hides things, not to punish you, but to protect them from premature exposure. Sometimes what we call loss is simply divine timing saying, "Not yet. You weren't ready then." The people involved weren't aligned. The environment couldn't sustain what was meant to bloom, so it had to disappear for a while, not because it was dead, but because it was being refined. Your dream didn't die, it matured in silence. Your gift didn't fade, it was being reshaped for new purpose. You see, chosen one, the soul never forgets what belongs to it. Even when the mind gives up, the spirit holds on. That's why some things return to your heart after years of absence. They resurface at random, but there's nothing random about divine design. Every cycle of your life carries echoes of what once was, and those echoes are becoming louder because the season of restoration has begun. What you thought was gone is moving toward you again, reborn in a form that finally matches who you've become. Think about all those moments you were convinced it was over, the opportunities that vanished, the relationships that dissolved, the ideas that seemed to crumble before they could begin. You mourned them like funerals, unaware that you were grieving seeds, not corpses. Seeds must go underground to grow. You just couldn't see what the soil was doing. The waiting felt like death, but it was transformation. Life was rearranging itself beneath the surface. You were never being denied, you were being prepared. That dream, that vision, that feeling that still haunts you, it's the same one you tried to forget. And yet it keeps showing up, whispering at the edges of your consciousness. Because divine energy never forgets its assignment. The reason it still calls to you is because it's still there, pulsing beneath your everyday distractions, waiting for your belief to revive it. Chosen one, the past doesn't vanish. It transforms into alignment. When something is truly yours, time doesn't erase it, distance doesn't weaken it, and silence doesn't kill it. The frequency between you and what belongs to you remains connected. Even if it's been years, even if you think you've moved on, the universe can still reconnect that current when both sides are ready. What left you didn't disappear, it evolved. It had to match your new vibration. You may not realize it, but you've already felt traces of what's returning. The sudden inspiration that woke you in the middle of the night, the random flash of hope after months of silence, the unexpected reminder of a passion you thought you'd outgrown. Those are all signs that something old is stirring again. You're not imagining it, the energy is shifting. What's meant for you is circling back because you're finally aligned enough to receive it without losing yourself this time. It's not that you lost your destiny, it's that you wandered too far from the version of yourself who could handle it. So the universe paused the flow, but now you've grown, you've healed, you've learned boundaries, you've mastered detachment. And that's why the door you once thought closed forever will soon open quietly, because this time you can walk through it with awareness. There is nothing in your life that was truly wasted. Every delay was divine. Every disappointment was protection. Every ending was rerouting. You were being sculpted into the kind of soul that could hold blessings without breaking under their weight. And now that you've learned not to cling, you're ready for what's meant to stay. The universe never withholds. It synchronizes. Some of what's returning to you won't even look the same. It will arrive in new faces, new places, new forms, but your soul will recognize it instantly. You'll feel that strange familiarity, that deep knowing that says, I've been here before, because you have. This is your reminder that nothing real can ever be lost. The energy of your destiny is eternal. It only waits for your readiness. The universe will sometimes hide blessings in plain sight until your perception shifts. You might think you've moved past something, but then one day it reappears, stronger, clearer, and aligned. That's not coincidence, that's divine timing at work. What you thought was gone was never gone. It was just waiting for the right version of you. The truth is, chosen one, loss was never your punishment, it was your initiation. Every time something left, something inside you awakened. Every time something broke, something divine was rebuilt. What disappeared wasn't taken from you, it was preparing you. You thought the silence meant absence, but it was creation in progress. The invisible work is always the most powerful. And now as this chapter unfolds, you'll begin to see confirmations everywhere. The return of old dreams, unexpected reconnections, ideas resurfacing, timing suddenly aligning. It's all evidence that what you thought was gone has only been waiting for your signal. And your signal is your belief. When you decide that it's not over, when you start thanking the universe as if it already happened, the current reactivates. So breathe, trust. The story isn't finished. The delay wasn't denial. It was divine development. Your path is about to reconnect with what once seemed lost, but this time it will stay. Because now you understand what it means to nurture what's sacred, to protect what's meant for you, and to never again let fear convince you that something is over just because it's quiet. Chosen one, what you thought was gone is still there. It's been waiting for you to remember it. Chosen one, the things you believed had vanished were never erased from the fabric of your life. They simply slipped behind the veil until your frequency matched their return. The universe doesn't throw away essence, it recycles it, shapes it, and sends it back when you've evolved enough to carry it differently. You see, nothing truly dies in the realm of energy. Love, purpose, creativity, passion. These are not material possessions, they are currents. They ebb and flow, disappear from view, then surge again when your heart is tuned to the right rhythm. That is the mystery of divine timing. It never forgets your coordinates. Think of how many times you've stood in front of endings believing they were final. You wept over closed doors, broken dreams, and words left unsaid. You told yourself, it's over. But the universe smiled quietly, knowing that nothing can be taken that was designed for your soul's expansion. The form may dissolve, but the essence remains, waiting for rebirth. Even the people who left your life left energy behind, fragments of unfinished destiny that orbit you still. That's why you occasionally feel déjà vu, why certain memories surface with new meaning, why you sense something familiar in a completely new experience. It's not coincidence, it's continuity. You're entering a phase where those continuities begin to reveal themselves. You might notice old passions waking up as if they never left. You may see opportunities mirroring dreams you thought you outgrew. You might even cross paths again with souls who disappeared without closure. Don't resist it. Don't fear the repetition. The universe is looping these energies not to test you, but to remind you what's real never ends. What's meant for you will find you even in another lifetime, in another form, through another path. This is why healing felt so long. You weren't just mending a wound, you were rebuilding a gateway. The dream couldn't return to the same energy that broke it, so the universe had to rebuild you. It had to clear your heart of resentment, your mind of limitation, your soul of doubt. It couldn't let old blessings collide with old wounds. That's why the delay was divine. You were being purified for re-entry into the very promise you once thought you lost. Sometimes the universe hides what belongs to you so that you stop chasing it and start becoming it. When you embody peace, love, and alignment, what's meant for you naturally gravitates back. You stop needing to search because what's yours starts seeking you. It's a reversal of gravity, the magnetism of maturity. You stop grasping and start glowing, and suddenly what you thought was gone finds its way back home. You'll know it's real when it feels familiar yet new, when it no longer requires struggle to exist, when it comes with peace, not tension. Because what's returning now has been rewritten to fit who you are, not who you were. This is the redemption of time. The universe never returns things as you left them. It restores them as they were meant to be, and you, chosen one, you have become the vessel capable of carrying what once slipped away. You learned the value of patience, the strength in surrender, and the beauty in believing again. You discovered that letting go didn't mean losing, it meant trusting. And that trust has rewritten your future. So when life starts bringing back old dreams with new faces, accept them. When familiar energy reappears with clear intentions, receive it. When your purpose whispers your name again after years of silence, answer. Because this is not a repeat, it's a resurrection. What you thought was gone never left. It waited until you could see it with healed eyes. The universe is returning to you everything that once carried love, meaning, or destiny, but this time purified by fire. You will recognize it not by its shape, but by the peace it brings. That's the sign that it's safe to hold again. You are not at the end of anything, you're at the beginning of rediscovery. Everything you thought had vanished is quietly orbiting closer, drawn by the frequency of your belief. Don't call it back with desperation, call it back with certainty. You've already earned it. The only thing left is to receive. What was lost is not gone, chosen one. It's merely been waiting for you to remember. Chosen one, you are standing in the space between what left and what is returning. The energy of what you thought was gone is circling back, not as a ghost of the past, but as proof that nothing divinely aligned can ever truly die. You feel it, don't you? That subtle hum inside your spirit, the quiet, knowing that something is coming back around. It's not nostalgia, it's resonance. The threads of destiny that once frayed are weaving themselves together again, stronger, more luminous, and bound by the lessons you've learned. The universe doesn't forget promises. It fulfills them when you're ready to protect them. You spent seasons grieving what you didn't realize was only sleeping. Dreams you thought expired, opportunities that slipped away, relationships that ended before they began, all of it is still alive in the realm of possibility. Energy doesn't vanish, it transforms. That means the things you once held close are still echoing through creation, vibrating in time, waiting for you to match their frequency again. You've mistaken silence for absence, but silence is often where rebirth begins. Every time you thought something was over, you were only witnessing a change of form. The love you lost may return as peace. The dream that failed may reappear as purpose. The person who left may be replaced by someone who carries the same soul energy but speaks your language more clearly. The point isn't to have what you had, it's to receive what it was always meant to become. Nothing ever ends for a chosen one, it simply reincarnates in alignment. You have no idea how many miracles are orbiting you right now, quietly waiting for your readiness. They've been there the whole time, paused by divine timing, guarded by unseen hands. Some of them you cried over, thinking they were gone forever, but the tears didn't bury them, they watered them. Every emotion you've ever felt was energy feeding what still belongs to you. You see, the universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration. Your longing wasn't wasted, it was a beacon. It marked your blessings' location so they could find their way back. You've grown since then. The heartbreaks, the delays, the disappointments, they all stretched your spirit, expanded your capacity, and refined your awareness. You are not the same person who lost those things. That's why they couldn't stay before. They didn't fit the old version of you. The frequency wasn't right. You had to rise first. The universe never denies, it calibrates, it waits until both you and what you desire vibrate in harmony. That's happening now. That's why you feel the pull again, the familiar call of what was never truly gone. You'll start to notice the world whispering reminders. Old passions will reignite out of nowhere. You'll see numbers repeating, names resurfacing. Ideas you abandoned reappearing in conversations. That's not coincidence, that's the universe reminding you that restoration is near. What's been missing isn't gone, it's returning with divine precision. Your only task is to remain open, to trust that what you once loved is finding its way back in the perfect form. There's a rhythm to divine return. It doesn't rush, it doesn't shout, it flows in silence, disguised as ordinary moments. You might stumble upon a message that feels written just for you. You might revisit an old place and feel your heart flicker. You might wake up one morning with sudden clarity about something you buried long ago. These are not accidents, they are alignments. The veil between what was and what will be is thinning, and you are standing right at the threshold. Chosen one, what you thought had vanished still breathes within the timeline of your destiny. The energy that built your greatest dreams still exists, waiting for you to believe again. You are never too late, never too far, never too broken for what's meant for you. Destiny is patient, it circles, it waits, it protects. Even when you walk away, it walks behind you, quietly guarding what you thought you left behind. Do you see now? Every loss was temporary. Every goodbye was a lesson in disguise. Every ending was an opening for a better alignment. What you thought was gone was only transforming into something that could meet you in the light of who you've become. You've been so busy surviving that you didn't notice your miracles rearranging themselves behind the scenes, but soon you will. Soon the invisible will become visible, and what you prayed for will no longer be memory, it will be manifestation. This time it will last. Because now you're aware of the value of energy. You won't cling, you won't chase, you'll simply allow. The things returning to you will feel effortless because they no longer require struggle. They've been refined by absence, and so have you. What you thought was gone is still there, waiting for your calm acceptance, not your desperation. Waiting for your belief, not your fear. And when it returns, you'll understand why it had to leave. You'll see how everything that once hurt you was actually redirecting you toward readiness. You'll recognize that the waiting was sacred, not wasted. You'll realize that destiny isn't about timing, it's about transformation. So breathe, chosen one. Stay open. Something once familiar is finding you again, not as it was, but as it was always meant to be. Nothing meant for you can ever be lost. It can only evolve until you're ready to receive it again. Chosen one, you can feel it, can't you? That subtle energy stirring beneath the surface, something you thought had faded, softly calling your name again. It's the echo of purpose returning to its rightful place. It's the quiet realization that The things you believed were lost didn't vanish. They transformed and waited. The reason it feels both new and familiar is because it's the same destiny, wrapped in new timing. You have entered the return phase, the season where what once slipped through your fingers finds its way back into your hands. There was a time when you begged for certain doors to reopen and they didn't. You thought it was rejection, but it was protection. You were not ready to walk through those doors back then. Your heart still carried too much weight. You would have ruined blessings by holding them with broken hands. So the universe did what love always does. It hid what you weren't prepared to keep. It let silence teach you what noise never could. And now that your spirit is lighter, the same doors no longer feel locked. They feel patient. They were never closed forever. They were simply waiting for your evolution. You might notice that life feels strange right now, quiet but charged, uncertain yet guided. That's how it feels when something once gone begins to realign. It's like the air around you is whispering, "Remember." Every moment of peace, every unexpected memory, every wave of intuition, it's the universe rehearsing your comeback story. The things you once chased are now circling back, not because you begged for them, but because you've become magnetic again. That's the secret. The chosen don't chase, they attract by alignment. When you stopped trying to control every outcome, you created space for divine order to move. That's when restoration began. You let go of what you couldn't fix, and by doing so, you activated what was never broken. You surrendered your timeline, and heaven started working on the real one. Every unanswered prayer, every delay, every quiet night of confusion, they all built the foundation for what's returning now. Because what's meant for you doesn't come when you demand it. It comes when you've grown into the version of yourself who won't lose it again. The universe remembers your tears. Every time you cried thinking it was over, your energy didn't vanish. It transformed into light that marked the way back to your blessing. Nothing you've ever felt was wasted. Every ounce of longing, every whispered why, every silent ache, all of it was a communication with creation. You spoke through vibration, not words. And vibration never goes unheard. The dream you thought was gone heard you mourning it, and it started moving again, quietly reshaping itself to meet you in your new awareness. You've become more discerning now. You no longer want what shines, you want what stays. You no longer crave speed, you crave substance. That shift in your desires is what brought the energy of the past back to life. The universe responds to alignment, not impatience. You've grown into someone who no longer begs for blessings. You embody them. You no longer plead for miracles, you prepare for them. And that's why the very things you thought were over are finding their way back, drawn to your steadiness. Remember this truth, chosen one. The universe is cyclical. What leaves returns in divine form, and what you release with grace will always find its way back purified. You might have lost a person, but their absence taught you boundaries. You might have lost an opportunity, but its delay taught you strategy. You might have lost confidence, but your silence taught you power. You didn't lose, you evolved. You graduated from lessons that once repeated as pain, and now the energy of what was lost is following you again, drawn by your new frequency, but this time it won't come with chaos. It will arrive quietly, gracefully, without the resistance it once had. It will feel like recognition, like remembering a song your soul once knew. You'll realize that you never truly moved on. You moved higher. You climbed so far that the things meant for you had to rise to reach you again. That's why it took time. The things that disappeared didn't abandon you. They waited until you stopped chasing, until you began to believe again. You had to understand that loss isn't failure, it's redirection. Every ending in your life was sacred choreography, pushing you into deeper awareness, sculpting you into a vessel that could sustain what's eternal. What's coming now isn't new. It's ancient energy reawakened. It's a promise returning in divine disguise. And as it unfolds, you'll see how every detour made sense. The delays weren't punishment, they were preparation. The silence wasn't rejection, it was incubation. What you thought was gone is still there, pulsing quietly beneath the surface of your story. And soon you'll see it rise, stronger, gentler, perfectly aligned. So don't doubt the strange pull in your heart right now. It's not imagination, it's restoration. The energy that once shaped your greatest joy is coming home. Let it. Don't question the how, don't rush the when. Just keep your spirit open, because the same universe that took something away is now orchestrating its return in a form you never expected. What you thought was gone, chosen one, was only waiting for the light of your transformation. And that light, it's shining now. Chosen one, everything that left you has been orbiting in divine patience, waiting for this version of you to arrive. You've walked through darkness thinking certain pieces of your story were over, people you'd never see again, dreams that would never revive, faith you thought you'd lost for good. But heaven never declared it finished. You did, and heaven waited for you to see what it already knew. Nothing meant for you could ever be taken, only transformed. The same hand that removed those things was the one preparing them for their return. This is not a new chapter, it's a continuation of the one you thought had ended. You've been sensing it lately, haven't you? That quiet hum of energy, that unexplainable peace that doesn't match your circumstances. It's because something sacred is unfolding beneath the surface. What you thought you buried is sprouting again. The season of hidden roots is over. The time of visible growth has come. You no longer have to force anything into existence. The energy is moving on its own. The things you prayed for are no longer concepts, they're coordinates. They're aligning with your steps in silence, synchronizing with the rhythm of your healed heart. It's no coincidence that old passions have been stirring again, or that familiar emotions resurface when you least expect them. These are signals, not memories. The universe is whispering, it's time. The love you thought was gone, it still breathes. The vision you thought failed, it's waiting for your command. The purpose you thought faded, it's right behind the next sunrise. All that energy you once gave away is returning multiplied because you finally learned how to hold it. You're wiser now. You no longer rush divine timing. You no longer chase what runs. You no longer cling to what's leaving. You've discovered the strength of stillness, the power of trusting without evidence. That trust is what's summoning everything back. The universe doesn't respond to fear. It responds to faith. And faith is the quiet knowing that even in silence, something sacred is happening. You've become the vessel that can finally carry the blessing without spilling it. When the return begins, it will not announce itself with noise, it will glide into your life with ease. The weight you once carried will feel lighter, the faces around you will reflect peace, and the dreams that once felt impossible will begin to move without resistance. You'll wonder how it all came together so smoothly, and the answer will be simple. You stopped doubting. The universe never needed your control, it only needed your cooperation. And the moment you surrendered, restoration began. Chosen one, this is the reward of your stillness. What you thought was gone was never lost, it was preserved. The love, the opportunities, the divine connections, they were all waiting for you to evolve beyond fear. And now that you have, the universe can safely place them back into your hands. This is why the silence lasted so long. It was protection. The delay was never punishment, it was proof that what's meant for you will never come through chaos. Only peace can deliver what's eternal. You'll soon recognize pieces of your past dressed in new form. Familiar energy will reappear through new people, new places, and new possibilities. It won't feel like starting over, it will feel like remembering. That's how you'll know it's divine. You won't have to force it, chase it, or doubt it. It will simply fit. And you'll feel gratitude instead of desperation, peace instead of anxiety, and clarity instead of confusion.